We're in Pennsylvania with Bobette. Hi, Bobette. You're with
Hi.
Scott and Pat.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. How are you, gentlemen?
Good.
Good.
What can we do to help or try to help?
Okay. I loved your story, so that definitely helped. Laughter is good medicine, always.
Okay, thank you. That's the kind of positive enforcement that keeps me coming back.
Oh, good. Yeah, my husband is a retired home contractor, so I have many stories.
I imagine.
And I imagine your husband has went into places like Pat McLean's house and actually fixed properly the stuff that McLean had attempted to do.
That's probably
Oh,
true.
yes. Several redos, yes. But thank you for taking my call. I received an inheritance, and I don't know what to do with it.
Okay.
And I've never. This is new for me. This area, I don't know investing. I'm disabled, so this is totally new. I was never taught investing, all that good stuff.
And you say disabled. Are you receiving Social Security disability?
Yes, I am.
And how old are you?
I'm 55.
And you said your husband is retired. Is he of similar age?
Yeah, he's a few. He's in a different profession now.
Oh, he is. Okay. And how much money did you inherit?
$125,000.
Okay. So I'm going to start with this, and then we're going to answer your question.
Okay.
If someone gifts,
Oh, hold on. Is this money from one of your parents or a distant
Yes,
family?
from my father.
okay, when you inherit or are gifted money, it is considered separate property in a marriage.
Okay.
So I'm just going to throw that out there, which means that if you put it in your account with just your name on it, right, and something happens to the marriage, then it's yours. The spouse has no claim on it. But if you took that $125,000 and paid down the home that you own together, you have commingled that into, in most states, into community property. And then your husband now has claim to it. In most circumstances, all you divorce attorneys out there, you'll notice that I'm speaking with as many disclaimers as I possibly can. Just be aware that it is now separate property. And when you go to invest the money, that kind of comes into play. So what does your overall financial situation look like? Is your home paid for? Do you have a lot of credit card debt? Do you have car debt? What's your financial situation?
We are working into being debt free. We own the home is totally paid off. I'm living in a home that my mother gifted to me, and I took some of the money and cleared up my credit. So I've been doing everything to improve my financial situation.
Is your husband living in the home that you
Yes.
You inherited from your mother as well?
Yes.
And is the home just in your name?
Yes.
Okay.
And what's the family income? And how old's your husband?
Oh, he's 60. He'll be 64 this year.
Okay. And what's the family income, including your Social Security benefit?
Including, I'd have to ask him, but he's normally does tax. I can't remember right now. I apologize. I should have had that. Mm-hmm.
And with your disability, I get very personal here with you, but is this something you think you'll have a normal life expectancy or shortened life expectancy?
A shortened life expectancy. I have sickle cell anemia, so the normal life expectancy for someone that has it, for males, is about 40, 45, and women, it's about 45, 50. So God has blessed me with extended years.
Wow.
And do you have children?
Yes, I have one. We have one daughter.
Okay.
Who's in law school.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, the first thing you need to do is get a will or a trust, depending upon the state in which you live.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Is
the first thing.
Is the daughter between you and your husband? It's first marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes it clean and easy.
Yeah. So you want to do a will or a trust.
What do you want to see these? So when you inherit assets, it's always a little bit emotional because someone we loved is no longer there, and now we have
the
these
assumption.
assets. Okay. Okay. What would you like these dollars to do for you? Forget about the investment. Let's what would you like to see happen differently as a result of these assets?
I would love to be able to be financially independent, be able to have the money working for me. That's what I would like to do. I'd love to open up a health spa, a health medical spa. So, like I said, I'd love to have it working for me.
And do you have any money now invested or saved for retirement? You and your husband?
Yeah, he has an IRA from his job.
Oh, a 401k?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. And do you know the approximate balance of that?
Nope,
Okay.
I don't.
And how much so if you put these dollars to work for you somewhere, let's say, for example, you went out and put it in a CD, you might get 4, maybe a little better than 4%. Let's just call it 4%.
Mm-hmm.
So that could provide about $5,000 a year in income. If you invested in something that maybe got a little bit higher, maybe you can get a little bit more than that. That's if you wanted to keep your principal intact, so your principal's there long term. How much were you expecting or hoping that these dollars could provide an additional income?
Oh, that's a good question. It would be nice if I could. I guess ideal if I could maybe live on $5,000 to $7,000 a month. I did buy
a month or a year.
A month. It would be nice if I did buy 3 ounces of gold with it.
Okay.
That's the only really investment that I've made.
Well, if you're taking $5,000 a month out of this, then your money is going to last you a little bit over 2 years.
Right. That's why I haven't touched it at all, because I don't know what to do with it.
Okay.
Well, you're in an interesting situation because what you told us is that your normal life expectancy is 45 to 50, and you're 55.
Right.
So you could be looking at this a couple different ways. You might be looking at it and say, I'm on borrowed time. I don't know how many more years I have. I'm going to enjoy these dollars. These are the things that I value right now, and I'm going to use these dollars for these certain things, which I completely understand why someone would want to do that. Or you might be saying, I want these dollars to help with my daughter's law school, but imagine she'll be able to pay off whatever debts are once she finishes law school.
Right.
So, I mean, how are you thinking about things?
I think both. I want to enjoy it, and then I also wanted to go for good, because the first thing I did was when I got it was pray, because it was totally unexpected, and then I took out instantly. I took out my tithe and offering with it, and just did like little stuff with it. But I didn't want to do anything major unless I, totally understood what was going on. Right.
Yeah, smart. It's typically what we would recommend as well. Like, take your time.
How long ago did you inherit the money?
I inherited in September 2025.
24.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 24, and it's been in a money market.
Well, so
this is tricky. This is tricky
because you have to have kind of a design for it. And so if you said to me, well, I just want this money to go to my daughter, then we would invest it quite aggressively. If you said, okay, I want income from this of, let's say, $500 a month, not,
Then we can structure something that'll probably it'll last you to the rest of your life.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could say, I want a combination of the two, which is I'm going to take 30 grand and my husband and my daughter and myself are going to take the trip of a lifetime. We're going to go on a safari, or we're going to go to Italy, or we're going to do this.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever floats your boat, right? Or Disney World.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Which I can't imagine that being a trip of a lifetime, Disney World,
Right.
but it might
no
be.
Disney. Well, I want to do all of the above. All of the above.
Well, then decide, but then decide what is for. It's hard to answer a question about what to do with money if we don't know what the intent of the money is.
I tell you what, though, if you were my sister, don't know much about you, but just what you've told thus far, I would be like, why don't you enjoy these dollars? Like, I mean, it sounds to me like the chance of you being alive 20 years from now is pretty slim.
Right.
Is that possible though?
Anything is possible with God, but I don't really see myself 20 years from now being here.
And maybe you just split the difference.
If you're my sister, I'd say, look, let's come up with some dollar amount, whether it's 50,000, half the account, 40,000, whatever, that we're going to plan on spending the next few years. Those sort of things that we've wanted to do, that we've never had the money. Maybe they're trips, maybe they're,
and then the other, you decide what you're going to do with the money. But we can't answer a question like, do I know, was it a good idea to buy the gold or not? I don't know. I mean, because without a direction,
I wouldn't recommend more than 5% of your portfolio in gold.
Yeah.
So, right. I've been researching it, so that's why I only did, the 3 ounces, because I want to spread it out evenly. I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
And I do want to enjoy it. I do want both.
Okay. So but every investment is based on a timeline and intent with those dollars, right? And so if you said this,
whether it's 125 or 1,000 or 125 million,
it doesn't matter, right? So if you said, I want half of it to go to my daughter when I die, I would invest that in an equity portfolio.
That portion you would invest differently.
And then the other portion, if you were going to spend it or take income from it, I would invest that differently. So I would call us back when you answer those questions for yourself.
Okay.
And I tell you exactly what I think you should do with the money. We will tell you exactly what we think we should do with the money. But in this,
if you're if you're my sister, I would encourage figure out some dollar amount that was going to give you enhancement. If you don't think it is, then don't.
But it might not. She might feel guilty about spending that, depending upon how the
that's
money was.
That's why I brought up the
right.
It's hard when you
because you said this was unexpected. Which I took to mean that you didn't know that your parents had money.
Yes, pretty much. My father sold a farm. It was actually his second wife that just decided to give it to me. My father died 11 years ago, and so I thought I had gotten everything I should, that I would get from him. And she just called me up one day and said, "Hey, I sold, his farm, and this is yours."
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't hear those stories very often.
That's something.
I know. Yeah.
That is massive.
So call us back when you think about this, and think, okay, well, if you didn't have sickle cell and you didn't give us those life expectancy numbers, our direction would be a lot different than without that information.
Okay.
I mean, it truly would be. And you might just decide, hey, I just want $500 a month and improve my day-to-day lifestyle.
Well, she wanted $3,000 to $5,000.
Well, that can't happen.
You can do it for a short amount of time.
Yeah, $5,000 a month your money's going to be gone in less than 2 years, which might be the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Just know what the outcome is.
Figure that your portfolio. I wouldn't figure that it. Just think about it generating a maximum of 5% a year.
Okay.
I don't care if you invested in gold, in NVIDIA, like a well-balanced portfolio. Your time horizon is not going to be terrible. I would just bank on 5%. So whatever dollar amount you have, say, all right, if I earn 5%, what could this generate? Okay. And then that gives you then you can start thinking, all right, how much of this do we want to spend today on whatever our wants or needs are, or desires are, and then how much we want to have
supplement our lifestyle today.
Yeah.
So give us a call when you think through that.
I will. Thank you so very much. You've been very helpful.
Okay,
Thank you. God bless you both.
Yeah, God bless you too. I appreciate that call. It's interesting, Pat. Like when one of my first thoughts, someone with no investment experience, is like there are times when an immediate annuity is helpful to people.
Yes.
Which is essentially like buying a pension. You give up control of your principal in exchange for a lifetime income, which works great if you're in phenomenal health.
Yeah, but you could do an immediate annuity period certain.
Yeah, but it doesn't do the same sort of thing.
It doesn't do the same thing.
Because one of the challenges when people inherit money that haven't had a lot of investing experience It's hard.
It's really difficult.
Because they invest in something, the first time something goes down, they're like, oh my gosh, I inherited these dollars, and what happened? This has fallen in value. It's really difficult. I mean, as an advisor of 3 decades, I know how hard, like,
inherited money. When inherited money comes in.
Inherited money for somebody that has not had experience, because the best experience is your own experience, right? Like the best education. Like I think you become a better investor when you've had some losses over the years.
Oh, over time.
When you've made some mistakes.
Over time, yes.
Yes. And so it's really difficult whether it's an inheritance or it's some pension lump sum that you've never really had any investing experience, and suddenly you've got a large sum of money that you're responsible for navigating. Yeah. It's a big challenge.
Yeah. And as she said, anything's possible, right? I remember when I started in the business, I had a couple clients that had AIDS, and they thought it was a death sentence. And
that's right.
Right? And they were spending the money like it was a death sentence. And it didn't turn out to be, thankfully.
So I have a story for this client. He had been widowed. Fortunately, his wife was a long battle with cancer. He was working. He calls me up one day and says, Scott, I have terminal cancer. I'm like, oh, God. I'm thinking that's just horrific. He was probably, I don't know, mid-50s, late 50s. And so he came in and visited with me. We had a conversation. He says, yeah, my doctor told me to quit drinking. He says, forget it. I'm going out with a bang.
Let's go.
Whatever. Like, I'm not here to judge you, your life, whatever.
Let's go.
Well, he blew through 90-some% of his cash. Just
always
wasted it all. Yeah. Just
always liquid assets.
Correct. Oh, no, his retirement account.
Okay.
Spent it all. He then called me and said, he says, I'm looking for an attorney. I said, an attorney for what? Well, my doctor had the charts mixed. I'm not dying after all. I don't know what happened to this gentleman because there was no money left for us to help him out with.
Wow.
Tragic.
Just a little bit funny.
Of course it is. It's fun telling a story.
Just a little bit. Come on.
It's a true story. He probably didn't find it so funny.
Oh, no. It was kind of sad. Really sad.
Kind of sad.
But it would have been fun to hang out with them for the last...
Maybe. I don't know.
If you're into that thing.